one can tell me that if had been a group of Black Lives Matter protesting yesterday, they wouldn't have been treated very, very differently than the mob of thugs that stormed the Capitol. We all know that's true. And it is unacceptable, totally unacceptable. The American people saw it in plain view, and I hope it sensitized them to what we have to do.
Let's speak now to Alphonso Simpson. He's the Program Director of African American Studies and an Associate Professor of Sociology at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Thank you so much for coming on the program, Alphonso. We've just heard President-elect Joe Biden speaking there, and he said, no one can tell me that if that had been a group of Black Lives Matter protesting yesterday, they wouldn't have been treated very, very differently than the mob of thugs that stormed the Capitol. What do you make of that statement?
That statement is absolutely, it's absolutely true. Biden, he poignantly said exactly, the sentiments of many Black and brown people here in the United States. I mean, not only is the nation watching, but the world is watching. And we all know, just as as President-elect Biden did say, that this would have been completely different. It would have been a different scenario had those people been Black and brown people. I mean, the insincere about face of the president has caused this, and he can't be the cause and the cure of this. And so there is just this anti-people of color rhetoric that President Trump has allowed, that has emboldened many people that have been labeled as demonstrators to storm the Capitol, when we all know, just as President-elect Biden said, had these people been Black or brown people, people of color, they would have been labeled as terrorists, as gang members, as a mob, vigilantes, but this is just not how it's happening here. And again, the world is watching.
Indeed, the world is watching. Alphonso, who would you say is to blame, and is it just Donald Trump? Because, I've heard it said that he didn't, get here alone.
No, it's too easy to blame Donald Trump individually. It really is. It's too easy to blame him. It is not only him, it's his entire administration, that actually has allowed this, the rhetoric, as I mentioned earlier, to actually just cover the nation, as Donald Trump, throughout his tenure as president, he's allowed himself, or his cabinet has allowed him, to say the things that, are just unprecedented, say things that, you never hear a seated president say. A seated president say. You'll never hear that. And it's just, it's too easy to blame Donald Trump alone. But he is at the core of it, to be completely honest with you. And so as this wound begins to heal, because it's going to take some time, it can't be forgotten that Donald Trump was the one who actually began all of this. But it did not, let me say this, it did not start with him. I mean, this is hundreds of years in the making. He just allowed it he pulled, the scab wide open, in my opinion. He pulled the scab wide open, and it has festered, and it has begun to ooze out into the country. And again, like I said, it's just emboldened people to really, stand up and say really how they've always been feeling, towards people of color. And what we saw the police do, and the response to this, was, the icing on the cake. It really just kind of showed us what we already knew.
And Alphonso, what worries you the most about the next 12 days if President Trump remains in power?
What worries me most is that these mobs, these types of, as they call them, demonstrations, will begin to happen in other places, not just in D.C., They will happen in larger metropolitan areas. I'm also concerned for the safety of the incoming administrative cabinet. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about the lives of Black and Brown people as we move forward, because as we can clearly see, um, these, as they call it, demonstrators, are not going out peacefully and without a fight. Um, and it's not a fight that they want, trust me, because I'm concerned about the future of the nation, to be completely honest with you, because this is just upheaval. It's a lot for us to take in, but we're on the cusp of a war, to be honest with you, a racial war. And I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't know how to fix it. But I do know that if we're not vigilant, and if we're not having these conversations, we could be in for years of destruction.
Alphonso Simpson, thank you so much for speaking to us on this important day, speaking to us from the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh.